So I don't know if I've done a unit review on a newly awakened unit in a while. Have I? I don't quite remember, but today we're gonna go ahead and do it. Now I did do a community poll inside my community post tab, and it's gonna be right above my head. And unit reviews won by an absolute landslide. You guys want unit reviews? Hey, I'm gonna give you guys what you want. So we're gonna go and talk about this Xeno Trunks, which I have not read his details yet. So we're gonna go and take a look at his details right now. So he has a leader skill of 3 key and 77% stats to tech type, which of course is worthless. Only ever usable for like some sort of niche situation, like for, I don't know, Battle Road. As a free-to-play player who doesn't have a tech type leader skill, that's the only reason I'd ever see you using this leader skill. Other than that, it's pretty worthless. His super attack effect, he gains 30% defense in 1 turn, and he greatly lowers defense. Of course, greatly lowering defense is worthless because these bosses have a lot of, they just, more often than not, these bosses are not affected by lowering defense. You can't lower a strong boss's defense, so this is a worthless super attack effect. But he is gaining defense on super, which is obviously good because we are in a defensive golden age for units. Now, he starts out with 100% attack and defense baseline, and he gets 3 key and 100% attack and defense when facing only 1 enemy, which is good. He also gets an additional 150% attack, no, 150% defense. Yeah, he gets 150% defense when facing 2 or more enemies, so you only ever really care about having this guy face 1 enemy because this guy's links suck. So you want the key in attack and defense. You only ever want to face 1 enemy. You face 2 enemies, you lose out on that key, and that is obviously very important to him because, look, guys, his links: Cold Judgment, Solid Support, Patrol, Bombardment, Xenoverse, Super Strike. He also gets an additional 100% attack and defense and a guaranteed crit when the character is the only Defenders of Justice category character on the team. So if he's the only Defenders of Justice character on the team, he gets 100% attack and defense and does a guaranteed crit. And that isn't once only. He's doing guaranteed crits. He just has to be the only Defenders of Justice character. And he gets that additional 100% attack and defense. So not only do you not want Defenders of Justice characters on the team with him, but this guy only wants to face 1 enemy. Which, of course, that is pretty much, I don't know, 85% of the game. So this guy's going to be sitting pretty in that regard. So he also has a 50% chance to foresee enemy super attacks. And he also gives all allies 1 key up to 3 and 7% attack and defense up to 35% attack and defense per Defense of Justice category ally on the team when there's another Defender of Justice category ally on the team. Huh? So you okay. So depending on how many characters are on the team is dependent, of course, depending on how many characters out of Defenders of Justice are on the team, get the amount of that allotted support type buff. So if you have 2, okay, this guy does count, right? No, it has to be when there's another. So okay, when you have other Defenders of Justice characters, so you have 2 other Defenders of Justice characters, you're giving them 2 key and 14% attack and defense. Oh, what? So when there's a certain amount of Defenders of Justice characters, so if you have 2 other ones, you're going to be giving 2 key and 14% attack and defense. But if you have essentially a full team, he's going to be giving up to 3 key and 35% attack and defense, which is cool. But guess what? This team, last time I checked, isn't the craziest, right? It does have some heroes characters. Let's go ahead and see. Okay, let's... God damn, I gotta stop using Chrome. This team needs a new leader, by the way. I mean, we do have Gamma 2. Cool, but this guy does... He kind of... Gamma 2 is good, but he has to do a lot of supers. We do have God right here, that being Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. Amazing. We do have Vegito. We do have Gamma 2, technically. We do have... This category is not that crazy. This category is really not that crazy. He is not on Dragon Ball Heroes, of course, because he's a Xenoverse character. Okay. So, what else does he have? He also gets an additional 100% defense and a 50% chance to crit when attacking extreme class enemies. But, okay. So this is how Dokkan went with this guy's design. You always want to face 1 enemy, essentially. And you really want to be the only Defenders of Justice character because he does have that guaranteed crit as well as that additional 100% attack and defense. So you want to face 1 enemy and you only want to be the only Defenders of Justice character on the team. But if you don't want to go that route, you could go ahead and run those Defenders of Justice characters to give them 3 key and 35% attack and defense. Cool. But is this guy in crossover? He is. Good. So that means he'll be able to work with the Dragon Ball Heroes characters. Of course, that being with this guy over here. He'll be able to support this guy. But it's either this guy's a support type unit, or he's a... How do I even explain this? He's either a support type unit, or he's a self-sufficient unit, where he has that guaranteed crit. He's essentially going to have a... He's going to have 100% attack and defense right over here. He has a key and a 100% attack and defense right over here. He's going to have a 100% attack and defense and a guaranteed crit right over here. And we're going to go ahead and ignore this foresee enemy super attacks as well as the support type buff. And if you face that extreme class enemy, he has additional defense and crit chance. Now, not that it does matter, but it's good because he does have defense here. He does have defense here. He has defense here, and he also gets defense on super. Okay, so this guy can either be a support type unit that gives up his additional attack and defense, or he can just be a self-sufficient unit. I don't know why they want this with this design. I think that they should just give this guy like some sort of defensive ability to fall back on. They should just made him a support type unit. Keep the foresee enemy super attack chance, cool, I guess, but I would have rather that been a 50% chance to dodge. I don't know, or give him that 50% chance to dodge and see enemy super attacks. And then this guy could possibly be better, but he'll be quite restricted to the Defenders of Justice like lineup that you run on a crossover team. This guy is a crossover leader, right? No, he's not. Damn. Let me... Ooh, you could... No. Okay, so how does this guy perform in today's meta? So I didn't see any gameplay on this guy. Zero. I saw zero gameplay on this guy. But judging on what this guy can do, and if you want to win a run, this guy can't get touched. Toughest fights in the game, he's going to get cooked, clearly. Because he has no defensive ability to fall back on. All he has is flat defense from a super attack effect, which is good, of course. He only has flat defense in his passive, which is bad. Defense on super, good. Flat 100% defense. 100% defense here, 100% defense here. He has 100% defense here when you face an extreme class enemy, of course, which we are in an era where the toughest fights in the game are extreme class characters, more predominantly in it of Red Zone Zamasu, in it of Red Zone Goku Black, in it of, I don't know, let's take, what's another tough fight that I could just go off the top of my head? Would you count Metacooler Core? I guess, that's just an example, but he can get that out there. I can't say that this guy's obviously not going to work in the meta. They should have just gave him a 50% chance to dodge and call it a day. That way, all the full dodge build, people can come out of the abyss and build in full dodge. This is a very defensive-oriented meta. Therefore, this guy will get cooked outright. Off meta, thumbs up. Meta, he's getting destroyed. Who's his best linking partners? Now, I did realize something. If I go over to this website, it does show all of his 200% leader skills. And I think this website is so goddamn useful. I love the OG Dokkan Wiki. Don't get it twisted. But this website's so goddamn useful. Now, isn't there a tab that shows all the 200% leaders? Am I crazy? I'm pretty sure. There it is, right over there. I kept scrolling over. So this is all his 200% leader skills. So he's on Trunks' 200% leader skill to Time Travelers. He's on the Hachiyak Goku's 200% leader skill to Battle of Wits. He's on the Shala Kid Gohan's 200% leader skill to Bond the Master Disciple. He's also, of course, on both Power Awakening Piccolo's as well as the LR Ultimate Gohan's 200% leader skills. And he's on Hearts' 200% leader skill. He can be on Hearts' leader skill. Interesting. But Hearts wants extreme class characters. So I don't know how exactly that will work out. He's on 7 200% leader skills, but you would never want to run this guy on those 7 200% leader skills because he's just flat defense, pretty much. He's a flat defensive unit that has 2 separate crit procs inside of his kit. Why is he a flat defensive unit with 2 separate crit procs, 2 separate crit procs, as well as a support type buff and foresee enemy super attack chance? I think if they swapped out the foresee enemy super attack chance for dodge chance, he would have been better because free-to-play units have to have dodge. I'm just gonna put it out there. They have to, because if this guy had guard, pull super, he's not taking a super. He's not from the toughest fights in the game. And of course, free-to-play unit or not, we do have to grade these units on the toughest fights in the game because that's the most adequate grading. Oh god, it sounds like I sound like Truth. I promise you guys, I don't watch Truth a lot, but that's just coming off of like my perspective of the game. It just makes sense. You know, it just makes sense. Why I feel like that's something he said. I don't watch enough The Truth nowadays to know that he said that. If I said something that sounded like it, I'm sorry. But it is true. These tough fights, he'll get cooked. But he is off meta, just God. Hey, he can be off meta God, right? He can have a guaranteed crit or a 50% chance to crit. He has foresee enemy super attack chance. He can be a support type unit. That's it. That's it. I think the bad thing about this guy is just he has no defensibility to fall back on. His link set sucks, and the 200% leader skills that he's on, yeah. And his best linking partners are just. I mean, 60% defense, 4 key, and 25% attack is cool for sure. But like, this guy sucks donkey balls. I mean, let's just go ahead and say that, right? He's booty beat. Let's just keep it a beam. Look at what he was before. 3 key and 5,000 attack. I think that's really about it. Back when he had first got this, I think this guy was doo-doo. Doo-doo then and doo-doo now. Just another support. No, just another unit you're gonna farm and use for an easy A area. Pretty much. Or if you're a newer player, you're going to use him for a super tech team. You probably use him on like the time travelers team, I guess, because he'll probably go ahead and help you out. But I think that is really about it. That's the only good thing about him, I would probably say, is that he'll help you out in niche scenarios. The bad thing is that he's, for a meta standpoint, he's flat defense, bad link set. Running him on any of these 200% leader skills is just no. Even on Hearts' 200% leader skill, Hearts wants extreme class Dragon Ball Heroes characters, if I remember correctly, and his best linking partner suck balls. That's it. I appreciate you guys watching. You guys are the best. I'll catch you guys next video. I love you all. Peace.